Hi, if you somehow found this video by accident and you don't know who I am, my name is Crash and I have another channel, another YouTube channel called Manga Crash, where I talk about manga, and this video is essentially a video about some of the videos that I make or I am making for that channel. And while, of course, those videos are about manga or Japanese comics, I think this topic kind of fits pretty much any YouTuber. At least any YouTuber that has done videos or does videos on media reviews or media analysis. Now, I love making videos and essentially just writing and talking about anything that I can think of, but there is something that I've been consciously avoiding for the most part on my channel, which is creating negative videos on pretty much any series. Now, I kind of use the excuse that I love manga and I want my channel to be a positive space for manga fans, and that is true, but I still think that it is fair and to talk about things that you don't like. And while everyone's grandma has said that if you have nothing good to say, you should say nothing at all, I think when you have a channel, or at least you have a hobby or dedicate time just talking about this kind of things, this kind of medium, I think it is fair to also talk about the things that you dislike, not just the series and things that you love. But I think there is a big dilemma in writing negative reviews. One that I've seen happening to me. I have a couple negative reviews that I've done on some series. Now, most of them aren't really big series, but there is one in particular which was about Nihei, or if you don't know who Tsumo Nihei is the author of Blum, which, while not the most mainstream manga out there, it is at least relatively popular and has gathered a really big cult following. And because of that, that video has become one of my most viewed videos, one of the only 3 or 4 to have passed the 10k viewers barrier. But the thing is, while the first wave of viewers were mostly my subscribers, and they were pretty positive towards the reception of it, and even the fans that got into the video, if you find a video like 300, 400 views talking negatively about a thing you like, I try to be constructive. I really don't try to just be like, this thing is mid or sucks or trash. So I think people find that, see that I've dedicated some time to at least understand why I don't like the stuff. They didn't be positive. But as soon as the videos reach a point, that does not happen anymore. Now, I think it is also fair that, of course, I put a negative video on a topic out there. People are not gonna like it. They have the right to say that they don't like it. The dilemma with writing negative things, however, especially stuff like a video on Tsumo Nihei, is that most people that will find that video will be fans of it. Just think about it. Most people who don't like Blum or don't like Nihei don't go research him or his topics on YouTube. They don't get recommended this stuff because they don't watch it. They're not fans. So those videos, those negative videos on these topics, are gonna spread mostly among fans of the topic you're criticizing. And because of that, the negative reception you get will be vastly superior to any positive that you may get. Now, I still get occasionally people that are fans and they understand where I'm coming from. And even if they don't necessarily agree, they try to be critical and about it. But there's also a lot of people who just are plain rude. Now, I'm currently working on a video on JJK, a negative video on JJK that I could have done at any point during my 3 years of working on YouTube. The reason why I haven't is because, well, if you know anything about Jujutsu Kaisen, or should I say if you know anything about anime or manga, you probably know that Jujutsu Kaisen has grown to be a pretty big title over the past 3 years. And I've been criticized before. My very first video, I talk about every single weekly Shonen Jump series. Jujutsu Kaisen is one of them. I criticized it for about a minute before moving. People still found it to be like a personal attack to them, because I just didn't enjoy this manga. So now that I'm working on a proper, this is why I don't like it, I also am thinking is it worth it? Because I know that while yes, the first couple of days it's gonna run through my subscribers, people that are probably already aware that I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen. Even if they do, they might be curious as to why I don't, and they will be charitable. They will be nice at least. But once that first wave passes, it's mostly gonna be people trashing just whatever I say, regardless of how I say it. There is no way to win when working on these kind of videos. Some people just kind of do that because they know that it still gathers an audience. Again, my Nikkei video is one of my most viewed on the channel because people find it, they're like, why doesn't this guy like the series that I love? I'm gonna click on it, I'm gonna trash it, dislike the video. Maybe I'm gonna watch it to try to understand why he doesn't like it. So it gathers an audience. It really, the problem is that's the second part of the dilemma. It's a video that will most likely, if it is a negative video on a relatively popular title, it is most likely going to gather at least some attention compared to most of your other videos. Even though that is negative attention. Now, do you like that? Or do you mind that? There's a lot of people that don't. I know some channels that dedicate exclusively to just being negative towards everything that is popular, and sometimes they do well. Even though I absolutely hate that, because I think we should try to work on positive stuff. I don't know, this is just kind of like a rant, because again, I'm working on this Jujutsu Kaisen video, and I've been thinking a lot about that. A lot about should I even complete this video. There's of course a lot of people that follow me on Twitter, or subscribers of my channel are like, yes, do it. Of course, do it, because we want to know, because we want to see, and I mean, we've been talking about Jujutsu Kaisen for a while. I've been avoiding talking for the channel, and it is such a big part of Shonen Jump, which is a big part of my channel. Of course, people are kind of curious as to why I don't like it, why I don't care, things like that. Even though I don't think it's gonna answer a lot of the questions more than what people already know, but obviously there's gonna be some interest. But is it worth it? Even knowing that it probably is gonna get a lot of views from people already have this thought-provoking, not thought-provoking, just kind of like this eye-grabbing thumbnail in mind that will get people to click on it. But is it even worth it? On another example, I have a secondary channel other than this one, where it's not really a secondary channel, it's more like a podcast, where we kind of just do stupid clickbaity titles and thumbnails, because those videos don't really get views anyways. We just do that because we want to have fun. We think it is funny. It's nothing like insidious as trying to trick people or anything. But one of the latest videos, or the latest video we made, was called how Naruto rips off Beyblade. That is because of a joke we say during the podcast. That's where we come up with these titles, the jokes that we say on the podcast. And we got a lot of views compared to what we normally get. Normally get around 100 to 200 views. We got 1.6 thousand. Most of those views have not seen the podcast. Now, of course, it is a 2-hour podcast, and you don't expect people to watch it. But what we saw is that most people watch the first minute, they click dislike, they leave a comment that obviously shows that they haven't watched the video, they've only read the title because it only applies to the title, and they dip out. So is that the kind of audience that you want? Yes, it is bringing numbers. Yes, you may get a couple new subscribers. We got 5, but is it worth it? I would say no, honestly. But then there's another part of it. I want to make this video. I want to talk about it. I don't want to just talk about positive things. Sometimes I think it is fair. I don't want my channels to just be negative stuff all, over and over again. But sometimes I think it is fair to talk negatively about a series that you felt like it was something that you just liked. If you have a reason for it, I like to write about it. And it's kind of sad because before I did YouTube, I essentially wrote reviews, and I think it is far more acceptable for me to write a negative review on a website. In this case, I posted it on Analyst. I think it was far more acceptable for me to just write a negative review on Analyst of a manga, even if it was popular, than it is to make the video. Even if it is the same script, even if it is the same thing, people are far more accepting of, okay, this is a review by this guy on this website, he doesn't like it. It doesn't stop me from being criticized for those reviews, but for the most part, people don't really care too much if someone they don't like, if a random dude on Analyst wrote a negative review on a thing that they like. But if a random dude makes a YouTube video on a thing that they don't like, certainly it becomes far more personal, and I still don't understand exactly why that is. I think maybe just that YouTube is far more accessible to far more people, especially younger audience. I think a lot more young people are watching YouTube videos than are reading blogs or reviews. I don't remember the last time I went to IGN, but it was probably not this decade nor the last. That is it. I'm kind of curious, like, if you guys are content creators, if you guys make videos on anime, movies, manga, comics, whatever, how do you tackle this negative audience? Like, how do you guys go about writing videos on things that you don't like? Is it something that you don't mind doing even if you get negative reviews, or negative reception, or is something that you are constantly aware and even try to avoid because of those rabid fans? Maybe I'm just overly conscious. Maybe I shouldn't care. But I am really curious about that. So if you are still here, leave it a comment. Go check my main channel if you like manga, and see ya.